Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Overwatch Open, and it is time for Map 2 between these two fantastic teams. We've got ANOX, we've got MISFITS, and the first map Kings Row, that went pretty quickly.
It did. I was really holding out hope for the mutual first point hold, but in all honesty, taking it back before that, I wasn't expecting the full hold from ANOX in the first place. Frankly, they've stepped it up another gear. Their teamwork has been phenomenal. And MISFITS have done their best to chip away at the corners of that, and there were a few instances where they might have been able to get a word in edgeways, but I feel like that very last bit of execution that shuts them out is something that ANOX had that MISFITS didn't, and I confess that really surprised me there.
I'm actually feeling like, again, we're seeing more and more from the rest of the individuals of ANOX, actually. There's lots of spots there where, again, we can see the synergies, the direct synergies. ANOX and Cypher's the first big one we're thinking about, but everyone's getting themselves into the right positions. Everyone's doing their jobs. You've got Kenzie in the back with the McCree. His role is super important as well to get the damage in, where Cypher's distracting them up close and DPSing up close. And it's what that composition is actually working out really well. And it is a composition we've seen them go to in many, many instances.
And one thing we perhaps didn't see from them that we saw in previous matches with ANOX was ANOX on Winston, I actually think is a real joy to behold, because Winston is all about getting in an opponent's backline and is all about disrupting the plans of an opponent before they actually charge in and make their team fights a reality. We didn't get to see that in map number 1 because, frankly, it was all about the first point. We may have charged in once to the point when ANOX were attacking, but otherwise, we didn't really get to see ANOX sort of play that kind of fantastic style that we've seen him play all tournament long. So I hope that we get to see a little bit more of that now. And MISFITS as well. Commiserations to them, but they were actually on track for some time to possibly full holding ANOX as well. It wasn't entirely one-way traffic.
Yeah, it was actually very close indeed. And I mean, one thing about ANOX as well that I find interesting is actually on Kings Row, I mean, of course, they're looking for ANOX. They know that he's going to jump in. They know what's going to happen. That's the entire interesting part for me, because they should be thinking of, okay, how can we stop that? Because if they can kill ANOX, or if they can stop him, or somehow catch him when he's jumping in, getting the damage in before the barrier can go down, then your life is much, much easier. But ANOX was always able to find a way to just kind of pop in, just like he was being dropped from some spaceship or something, and they never could, preemptively stop him. And if they were able to do that, it would be a different story, I think. But
it's all about being able to anticipate what your opponent's doing. So maybe not so much in that last map, but in previous games, it's really difficult to anticipate ANOX coming in if you're still, I don't know, between 3 and 5 seconds away from actually setting up as a team yourself, where you actually sit down and you go, right, I'm in position, what are we expecting first? We never really got to that point, and because we never really got to that point, it means that ANOX, with his anticipation, has just been absolutely fantastic. But we are moving now into map number 2. MISFITS have opted to mix it up a little bit, and therefore we are going to Lijiang Tower.
And this is really cool, because this is the first time we're going to see the new and improved ANOX on this map, and it is, in theory, a map where they should really shine, or rather a game mode where they should really shine. And already we're getting a bit of a battle in the courtyard, and it's looking like a pretty scrappy affair. We've got Cypher trying to use the verticality. They're trying to escape Winston. Really nice there. Skipjack is just on Cypher duty so far, but he will not be successful. It'll be Cypher winning out that battle, and that's very important now, because Cypher can get himself straight on the point, and that's ANOX. Despite losing 3 players, they will actually get the point first.
Yep, they definitely do. MISFITS, though, are actually in a group and getting ready to grab onto the point as a unit, which is very important for them. Cypher also has just gone down. A big part of that was ANOX actually dying in the first couple of seconds of the map loading, so I'm not really sure what that did for them in terms of staggered engagements, but from that moment onward, I actually favored MISFITS a little bit, because I thought if they get one more pick-off on ANOX, trickling in with heroes is a lot more punished on King of the Hill maps, especially without 6 Tracer, hey, than on a control point.
And here we go, we've got the ultimate starting to be popped here, and Shadow will go down. We've got Zapri going down just before he could use his Dragon Blade, but instead it's going to be Cypher able to get that Dragon Blade into use, and it will be used very effectively. 3 frags in there, but soon sneakily popping in to just take down Cypher before he will be sent back to the respawn.
And you don't want to be playing 5v6. This is a situation where it's like, well, every second that passes, that percentage comes on up, and Cypher's a little bit further back. We have the Graviton Surge starting the match off, but we have Tranquility coming down as well. This is actually a bit of a brawl. 3 players from MISFITS have gone down, and that's mainly due to ANOX being able to use Lucio ultimate as well. Nevex, unfortunately, has a sound barrier available, but died very early on in that engagement.
Absolutely, and I'm quite curious to see how the Zenyatta dynamic's going to work against these Winstons as well. He really melts away quickly with a Discord orb stuck on him, so it'll be cool to see how mobile the Winstons are going to be. And holding this forward point here for ANOX is going to be very important. They've got a Graviton Surge as well, and this choke point is very dangerous. There's the Graviton, and we get all the shields being popped there. And are we going to see the kills coming in? Kenzie gets himself too, but that's going to be it for now as Crew comes back in with a full charge and a statement to make, although he will get pushed back a little bit.
And I feel like ANOX, I mean, previously we were talking about how their teamwork wasn't really on point. You know, with the context that they're incredibly skilled a couple of weeks ago. They are on point now, and even though both teams are dealing with each other as teammates tremendously well, ANOX have still been able to get those moments of individual brilliance. Cypher hasn't done it yet, but Kenzie has had a triple kill already now, twice on Lijiang Tower.
And now it's going to be finally a broken ANOX as the forward hold. They couldn't get everybody there in time. Obviously, Misfits are a little bit closer from their spawn, and due to that fact, they're going to use the numbers advantage to break through. They've reclaimed the points, and it's starting to build. Now it's going to be down to ANOX to do the same thing and break out, but the setup's not really there just yet, so they're able to just spill out into the courtyard, take these fights willy-nilly, and the Transcendence is going to be coming in all over the place, as well as the Dragon Blaze. We've got Chaos all over the place, lots of one-on-ones, and they will be won, it would seem, mostly by ANOX players, as they have only lost Kenzie now, and they should be able to take the point back.
That was a really good illustration, actually. Taking a look up above, it was basically Sharek versus Soon, because the rest of Misfits actually went down. The point is swapping for what I think is the fourth time here, by the way. 57% for Misfits and 81% for ANOX. It's been very back and forth. The teams have been winning fights on both sides of the equation here, but now Misfits are under pressure to win the next one, because that ticker is going up to 99.
And this is really tough to deal with right now. They don't necessarily have the ultimates that they want. They're going to have Winston popping his, though. Skipjack tries to create space, and he's going to do that, getting into the squishies. And you can see it's going to work. The objective is being recaptured there by Misfits. Very timely as well, as we see the 99% for ANOX. And they're going to go to try to reclaim that. But can Misfits hold it?
Just remember, guys, this King of the Hill, in some ways, is actually very similar to a chess match. The winning side is the person, or team in this case, that makes the second to last mistake. We're getting up to 99% now. Misfits are going to have a very good shot of doing that as well. Cypher coming in trying to prevent that, but basically we could end up in double overtime. Whoever loses this fight could end up losing the map outright.
And Cypher, he's pulled out the big blade. He's going all Uma Thurman, all Kill Bill in this situation. Slashing away, still alive there. Of course, he is run out on the ultimate, but he's still doing some work. It's going to be Kenzie to come in a timely manner to finish things, to clean it up, and the spot will be reclaimed there by ANOX. And there is overtime. It's Misfits, so they're going to find a player to get on the point to buy some extra time. They're trying to make it happen right now. Kenzie's trying to deny, and it looks like this should surely go to ANOX at this point.
It probably should. We have heroes trickling in, though. And if they get a couple of kills on ANOX, that could actually change things. Kenzie going down first, but that's at the benefit of 3 heroes going down for Misfits. So I think that should be able to clinch it for ANOX, but 99-99 overtime is always tricky. They do manage to do it in the end, though. That was very, very close as a first point.
Oh, it was indeed, and there's always the potential there from Skipjack popping the Winston ultimate to maybe throw a few people over the edge, which would have been fun to see. But yeah, very close. It felt like, definitely felt like ANOX were a little bit better at holding those forward choke points as well. Now this is going to be a really open situation as well. So
this is going to potentially favor ANOX style of play. Let's keep an eye out. This is the Garden, ladies and gentlemen, and we can have a situation where Winston jumps over the bridge into enemy territory or onto the control point. This actually really favors the way ANOX has been playing all day long yesterday. So let's keep an eye for whether or not he's able to do that here.
We have pretty much identical setups as well. It'll be really fun to see if Soon is going to get going, which is he's been very good so far on his McCree play, and of course he's mid-range is going to be great for the left click.
Here's ANOX.
That is indeed the play, and it's going to be good right now for ANOX as they try to push things forward. I love the aggression here, and Kenzie's getting the damage in from the back. So far, strong start here from ANOX, but still need to take the point, of course.
Yeah, picked off Soon as well in the background as well, which means Kenzie doesn't have an opposite number right now. He is just able to go ahead and indiscriminately destroy as much damage as he possibly can. He actually gets a very crucial pick off on Nevix before going down himself, so that leaves Misfits without a support, but elsewhere, Sharek has gone down. Very, very important tank, and because ANOX disappeared so early, it's meant that Misfits have been able to convert this to an early advantage.
It's always tough as well to measure if, how much should you extend. Was it an overextension there from ANOX? They had a good start, maybe trying to bite off more than they can chew. Otherwise, a great break from Misfits to get back in there. And now it's on ANOX to try to break through on a play that they were the ones to initiate upon their opponents. Now they got to deal with that forward play from Winston. And this is gorgeous stuff from Misfits so far, able to easily lock it down. Crew once again being very pivotal with his Zarya play.
Absolutely right, DDK. I think Crew was almost the glue that held the team together there. His shields were excellent, but actually, more importantly than that, he was getting the damage done. Not many people were actually targeting him down, and he used the opportunity to put that DPS in as Zarya, and that gave them an edge. He also, by the way, has been focusing down Cypher. That's the third time he's done nothing but focus Genji.
And that is very important as well. Can't easily deflect the particle cannon. And, well, it's going to be time for him to just be abusing that full charge. This is a really rough spot to deal with. ANOX going to get himself in there, though. Transcendence popped. We've got the Dragon Blade out as well. And it looks like Cypher's going to try to target down McCree, but he gets focused by 3 players at once. Cypher doesn't really get anything done there with his ultimate. That's a problem, a very big problem for ANOX. They are losing a lot of members right now. Misfits look a lot more together at the moment.
Misfits are doing a really great job of staying together as a team, but they need to make sure that the likes of Kenzie and Cypher can't ruin the party by coming in with those triple kills and flipping everything. At the moment, they are going to still contest the point. They might not give it up yet, but even if they do, they've got 80% on it already and have a very nice advantage so far here on Lijiang.
I love that little delay there, actually, from Genji. That might end up paying off. But to see again, wow, look how far forward they're going. There's the Graviton. Oh, no, not the Graviton quite yet. I was expecting that a little bit too preemptive on my call, but they're looking for it. A nice spot to do it. Of course, you don't want to do it too close to spawn as well, as, of course, they can just get back into the action very, very quickly. And looks like this is a nice hold here from ANOX across the bridge, laying in the damage.
Yeah, they need to buy themselves some space because, frankly, 20% versus 80 means that they probably need a minimum of 30 seconds of unfettered access. If there's 30 seconds of Misfits also contesting on the point, that could get slightly dangerous for ANOX, so they want to keep Misfits back as long as possible here.
And we are looking at maybe the battle of the Graviton Surges. There's one popping for ANOX. Crew has one available, still looking for the perfect moment to use his. And it might not even be now because Misfits getting all the frags regardless. No Graviton Surge. In fact, no, he did pop it in the end, and it's going to make the difference. Misfits once again reclaiming the point, looking much better.
And that's why you don't really mind, as long as the discrepancy is large between the teams, of giving them an extra 10% to regroup. Misfits executed that very well. Skipjack didn't go too far ahead of his team as well, so he didn't die that early compared to everyone else. And Crew once again providing excellent support on Zarya. Need to be calling that out. Now we have ANOX trying to retake, but we've got Nevix with the ultimate to start things off from Misfits. Unfortunately, Crew going down early in that engagement, but they're able to pick up another couple of kills elsewhere. And Kenzie trying to bring together some amazing solo kills, but Skipjack will be able to put a stop to that.
Yeah, really important kills from Kenzie, but the problem is that it's going to be down to ANOX to try to make things happen, just try to keep the push alive as he just sits there, uses the barrier to keep himself up for another time. But a lot of charge there on Crew, he's doing a lot of damage with Zapre in there as well to make life difficult. But now Cypher comes in, cleaning up the remnants of Misfits, and just maybe ANOX have a chance back into this one.
This is, I mean, the only way you can really describe that is clutch. The overtime ticker, of course, goes down more quickly now the longer overtime goes in. So you saw, actually, Rubicon move back onto the point after it lost about 3/4 of it in a single second. Very important for ANOX now to keep a hold of this. And one very, very strong push from Misfits could put this beyond doubt.
Cypher, he's looking to make the big play with the Dragon Blade. The ultimate coming in at the right moment could make all the difference here as he tries to target down the squishies. Finds himself, sorry. Oh! Looks like Rubicon's, looks like he's actually going to get taken down by Zebasai. That's a really big problem right there for ANOX, but they still have damage on the point. They're still keeping the effort alive, and it looks like they will deflect the attack from Misfits.
Yep, Transcendence from Rubicon was actually very important in terms of timing. It happened just after Cypher died, and they needed the rest of the team to stay alive so that they can get that DPS down. So that was really well. It means that we're going to another 99-99 situation. Misfits have it all to lose right now. They've done so well this point so far. I think everyone watching will agree that this is a different Misfits team that we saw on map number 1. So can they actually turn this around and bring it to 1-0? It's 99-99 overtime, currently held by ANOX. Misfits with only Soon alive. I don't think they could do ANOX. How do they do this?
Oh my god. No,
How do they do this? MISFITS played that so well. There is very little they could have done better. And ANOX, that was
Clutch.
that was almost a definition of clutch. I mean, damn.
That was fantastic. That was beautiful. Fighting to the last. It looked like they were out of it so many times. But they found a way. They found a way. And now it's just one more to claim the second map. And that would be a brilliant lead. Of course, this is best of 5. So there's still a long road ahead of them. But this is a brilliant start. And they're going to have a lot of confidence after stealing it away. MISFITS are not going to be feeling good about that one.
No, and Cypher was largely kept under wraps as well. Kenzie was getting more better, was just getting more multiple kills than Cypher was, I have to say there. I thought Crew was excellent for MISFITS. I thought Skipjack did a great job of not overextending. I thought Soon and Zepazai both got some very, very important critical kills, and I thought Nevix was very good on his timing. There isn't much I can criticize, but ANOX were just that slightest bit better at the end, and now we go to the final control point. It is, of course, the control room.
And Crew and Zapri, very, very important right now, able to combine forces to deal with this push from ANOX. ANOX getting an immediate frag onto Soon. Really landed them in some trouble there to hold the capture point. But actually, again, Zapri and Crew, these guys have been going absolutely ham, and they've managed to take the point back for the team. Very, speaking of clutch play, that was very good from them, and that's going to give an early advantage here for MISFITS. And not much in the way of ultimates built up yet for ANOX, so...
Oh, Kenzie, you funny guy. All right. MISFITS, once again, and I like that they're not really switching it up too much, by the way. They're doing everything right. It was just unfortunate they weren't able to do it last. So like I was saying, the team that makes the second last mistake ends up winning there, and ANOX was able to get that final flip. So they're not having the greatest start to this control room point, it has to be said. They got a complete wipe, and MISFITS are on 33%, but ANOX can come back from this.
Yeah, absolutely. They've shown a great comeback potential so far. The one thing that I'm worried about for ANOX is Zapri. You know, the Reaper on these close quarters is so powerful, and you can see that Zapri is playing Reaper instead of the Genji, which is where Cypher's at the moment, kind of his peer in that sense. To see if Cypher will be able to get himself going. It's Kenzie, though, again, who finds himself a triple kill. 4 frags now for Kenzie. This guy is not stopping anytime soon, and he has created a lot of space here for ANOX to abuse, and they will retake the capture point by and large due to his amazing individual play. And he's been doing consistently great work when we've always been talking about Cypher, and MISFITS, they have been trying to deal with Cypher specifically. They've been targeting him down and keeping players on top of him to keep him in check, and that's when Kenzie has needed to shine, and he has.
All right, moving on forward now. Genji still not having the world's greatest game so far. Cypher looking to change that, though. He wants to grab a number of kills. He gets stunned, though, in the midst of it, but manages Skipjack to take out Kenzie there. Cypher looking at the kill feed. He hasn't had that much success, so we'll see how well they can come back from this. MISFITS still 61% versus 33, so all is not lost, but they do want the next flip to go to 99.
Yeah, we already saw that they seem quite comfortable when their back is against the wall. And, well, here comes the push from MISFITS. We have some ultimates ready to be used here for ANOX. No Graviton Surge, that could be a problematic here. We do have the sound barriers being popped here. Zapri going in straight away for the squishies. That's Rubicon, the Zenyatta completely out of the picture. Sent to the bench for the time being as we get Anik going in, trying to cause some distraction here. But again, because of squishies, his teammates, his DPSers have gone down. He can't really do too much, and he does get out of there, which is a smart move.
We need to go ahead and finish capturing the point. Very briefly there, MISFITS actually had no one sitting there. They do need to flip it, guys, but they get round to it. 66% apiece, and now they're going to be holding it. So they are flipping the point in a very advanced position. This is great. They just need to be a little bit careful around this engagement. Soon doing a fantastic job to start off with, kicking off Anak. Zapre looking for additional kills, only getting 1 though, and Soon, this is the individual performance they were talking about. He needed to match Kenzie. He needed to make sure Cypher wasn't a threat. He did both of those things in one fell swoop. MISFITS says, your move.
Oh. They are ready to make the move. They do have some time to work with. In goes Anik again to break up the action. Looking to put a forward barrier, get his teammates in there, but he will go down immediately. That's pretty annoying right there for ANOX, but did he do enough? Looks like it's going to not be enough right there.
Comeback is real, man. The comeback is real. MISFITS believe in themselves. When they lost that second point, they must have thought, no, we did everything right if we do this again, we win the point 99 out of 100 times. Guys, stay focused, believe in yourself, know that you can do this. And Misfits are looking like they're on a roll right now. I believe.
So
I believe.
You're gonna go full Al Pacino any given Sunday right there.
I believe. I think they can. I really do think they can do this. That was inspiring to watch from Misfits, and ANOX, at the same time, their base level of skill has just been so strong as well. It's really scary knowing that even when they have an off day now, if they're able to get this level of teamwork down on the ground, that most teams in the world can't hope to compete. That's gotta be something that's playing on the minds of Misfits, but they have to suspend that right now. They're going full out in, and Skipjack is doing what Anak did before Anak even had a chance to. Misfits, all guns blazing, and the confidence now is sky high. High sky. We'll roll with
the
it.
Reaper action from Zapre. Absolutely loving it. He's really making the difference, especially when you consider how Cypher's just been cut out of the picture, essentially. And there's the first fast take coming in for Misfits, and Crew is going to be back up to his usual shenanigans, although Anix going to find himself straight over the top, and Crew hasn't really built any charge just yet, so there might be a chance if Anix get back into this one very fast.
We're back at the venue of heartbreak for Misfits, right? So they're here and they're going, no, we are here to stay. We absolutely refuse. Another team kill for Misfits onto ANOX. The fairy tale story is happening, Dan. I cannot contain my excitement. This story is writing itself. This is gorgeous to watch.
So ANOX, a moment of calm to regroup themselves, but there's Lucio charge to dash on in there and make the play happen. Oh, that's so important. Kenzie immediately taking down Zapre, who has caused so much issue, and now Kenzie tries to get free reign, and we do have, of course, Skipjack trying to prevent that, just locking down Kenzie straight away, but has Kenzie allowed the space for ANOX to move on to the point? Again, Skipjack seems to be everywhere right now.
Yeah, he really is. He's activating Primal Rage on top of the point as well. And Cypher at the same time with Dragonblade. That's going to be an interesting fight. Batting Genji away there as, basically neutralizing the amount of kills that Cypher can get, which is extremely important. Cypher goes down once again. They have neutralized. They are continuing to hold the point. The charge that ANOX built up is disappearing. 66% plays nil, but it's not over yet.
It is absolutely not over yet with these two teams, and yeah, that's very nicely done by the team of Misfits to deny Cypher, and we've got the Graviton Surge coming in. Zapre is going to put those shotguns to work as all those players are immobilized, and that's going to be a massive problem right now as he pushes them all the way back to spawn. They're getting flung off into the void as well, adding insult to injury.
Wow.
Misfits with another wipe of ANOX.
Misfits are playing like a team possessed right now. They're saying, yes, we know what happened. We're going to be avenging all of the things. And then some. Zapre looking to come around the back, looking for a couple of bits to hunt for. Won't quite get it this time, but oh my god, what an excellent Graviton Surge. It doesn't quite come to anything, though. Cooler getting a couple of kills. And are we going to see... No, don't tell me this ends with a 99% flip to a 3-0 victory. That would be insane.
That just cannot happen. We'll have to see, though. It is hard to count them up, but they are on the point. All hands on deck for ANOX as they are ready to receive the next push, but they have a lot to endure.
Not like this, Dan. Not like this. Misfits, they're not losing hope or anything yet. They're on 99%. They do have all the work to do, though, to flip the point one more time. ANOX, at the absolute death, managed to contest here.
And they don't have any ultimates apart from Cypher's Dragonblade. That's all they've got to work with. The same can be said for Misfits. Just a sound barrier, but it can't be popped in time. Lucio is dead. Cooler, Kenzie, Cypher, all standing up to try to make the frags in. They will be doing so. Kenzie gets into the mix as well. And this push from Misfits will just fall to pieces again without any ultimate support, with Lucio going down immediately before he can drop sound barrier to help his team in through or past the bridge. That was an effort that just won't go the way of Misfits, and they have to go and regroup.
Oh my goodness, they must be wondering right now. Here comes the engagement coming up from Skipjack. He moves on in. We also have the beat drop as part of Nevix as well. Skipjack actually still alive and doing a good job of just distracting the rest of ANOX there. They get the team wipe. They're on 99%. They need to hold the point for a couple of seconds. Are they going to be able to do it? Here's overtime. Where are ANOX?
Looks like they have no time. There's no flying Anik.
The comeback is real.
That was pretty close.
Oh, wow. And we move on to a 5th and final point to determine the winner on Lijiang Tower, ladies and gentlemen. ANOX maybe stealing point number 2. MISFITS definitely getting revenge for that now, and it is all square. This one is for all the marbles.
Both these teams love marbles.
They do.
Now, it's
Lucio can't slip on them. He's on wheels already.
That's true.
It's fine.
That's true. I love the parkour shenanigans from Lucio.
Oh, it's great. Wall riding is just so much fun with Lucio.
Oh yeah.
Love that mechanic.
So, I don't know who to favor now. It's
Oh
hard.
man, this is great. This is a fantastic story. ANOX proving to us that a team with incredibly skilled individual players very quickly have gelled together to become one of the driving forces in Europe. MISFITS have been on the ascension for some time. They've taken out their fair share of very good top teams, and they're going to be representing the hard graft to get to this position. Either of these teams can win the match. Either of these teams can win the best of 5 final, but only one can go on and secure that playoff position in the $300,000 winner takes all.
And even though Cypher is able to quickly take a kill there, I mean, it feels like Zapre is just doing too much work with Reaper at the moment. I feel like he is a key difference, just landing all the damage. And again, we're starting to see that MISFITS are just generally pulling ahead.
And it's important to point out, Zapri's doing this with Reaper. They're basically doing this without a Genji as well. And there's been so much talk about how powerful Genji is in this current meta. Zapri perhaps proving us a little bit wrong there. Soon, though, I have to say, has been the star of MISFITS. The number of times he's been able to save them on his McCree, he's going to have to try and do that again because they were in a 4v6 situation very shortly before. Rubicon, though, takes him out, and he's unable to be the hero on this occasion.
Yeah, a great work indeed from Rubicon, trying to secure things here for ANOX as they get a bit of a contestation coming in now. But the numbers advantage is that actually with ANOX at the moment, just MISFITS trickling in right now. The ultimates will help out a little bit, but we get the counter ultimate, the Transcendence, to really lock it down there and make it a sure thing. Everyone from ANOX survives that push, and they will hold it. And now they actually can regroup very quickly into this forward choke point where we've seen, I mean, this is one of the most important spots right now. ANOX were previously quite successful in holding this.
They're being very aggressive in moving forward, not wanting MISFITS to have to try and contest the point while standing on it. They just want to push them back to spawn as much as possible without trying to overextend. Another big team fight, 2 players, now 3 going down from MISFITS very early on compared to only Kenzie on the side of ANOX. Sure, he's an important player, but that 6v3 will be enough for them to hold on to the point a little while longer.
Yeah, Anik, I guess he was counting his health very effectively. There was getting shot in the back. I was worried for him with Zapre doing so much damage, but popped the Primal Raise just in the right moment to get full health again. And so right now it's all about breaking through this point. There goes the Graviton Surge. Cypher's ready for the ultimate. The splashes come in. Full Uma Thurman mode as Kenzie's going to be getting all the frags there. Soon answering back though with his McCree, but it is trades upon trades where ANOX are still going to be able to hold the incredibly important choke point, and they are building an advantage now.
Once again, the world collapses upon Cypher as soon as they hear the Genji ultimate. He gets taken out before he gets any kills, but ANOX still have the point. The rest of the team are able to gel together, are able to come back and make sure that they have that flexibility. Here comes Soon with the ultimate to start things off. He gets Rubicon very quickly, but gets taken out by ANOX, who also grabs Zebasai at the same time. MISFITS need to try and turn this. It's 78% versus 46. This is going to end up being critical for them, but Kula with the excellently timed ultimate on Lucio there is going to make this so difficult.
Yeah, a lot of players dying here for the ANOX side. Losing Lucio, losing Cypher on the Genji. Ooh. You can start to see the numbers are really problematic. ANOX is going to get pushed off. And a retake comes in for MISFITS. 91% for ANOX. They have some time to regroup here.
It's all about defense now. Can MISFITS prove that that was the last mistake? Are they going to be able to hold until the end? 2-2, 91 potentially also playing 91, but let's not count those chickens just yet. ANOX now coming back out. MISFITS trying to get an advanced position. We have Zebasai not quite with his ultimate yet, and Transcendence already being popped from Rubicon. Sharix and Kenzie both already down though, and Kenzie with Deadeye available. That's going to hurt. ANOX, they need some continuation, they need some sustain, and they can't get the point.
That was so close. Cypher trying to be very sneaky there, trying to buy his team some more time right now to stop that point from building. But it is going to build, and ANOX are having problems here. I mean, I love that that skipjack with the perfect timing on the previous Primal Rage. that is gone now. So ANOX might have a
91.
chance to get back in.
MISFITS have now taken the lead. Oh my god, everything getting deflected, followed by Cypher with the ultimate. He gets taken out again, and Reaper coming in. Zapre, we've been talking about him all game long. He clinches it for MISFITS. 3-2, and MISFITS win Lijiang Tower. An incredible performance from them. The comeback is real.
Yeah, that is a brilliant display. I was worried for them, leading up into all of this, but they started to really show their colors on that switch into the Reaper. It just looked, it was just amazing from that point forward. They just kept pulling ahead. They had more damage. They were clinching out all the clutch situations, and I mean, I felt when ANOX got that forward hold, previously that was what allowed them to take that. They were able to hold it very nicely. But this time around, we're seeing that adaptation.
So many great points to talk about there. ANOX going 2-0 up, doing absolute wonders, and MISFITS just going deep and coming back out of nowhere. Zapri, you mentioned him a lot, Dan. You're absolutely right. He was very flexible. He played both Genji, but wasn't afraid to play Reaper where he thought it would be better, and he played him to devastating effect.
Yeah, that was really fantastic. It did seem like maybe Cypher was still confident in his Genji play, and we have seen reasons why he could be very confident in it. But you could see that the combination of him playing or sticking to Genji, he's still able to have some efficacy. But generally speaking, MISFITS were very cognizant of disabling him and trying to target him down. And of course, usually that's okay because Kenzie can get the work done. But they have Soon and Zapri together DPSing. And we didn't really see, much focus on Zapri. It was very rare that you would see him go down very early. As early as Cypher.
Zapri versus Cypher, Skipjack versus Anak. There were battles being fought all over the place. The Winstons were a fantastic dynamic. Anak came out of the gate and was trying to anticipate where MISFITS were going. Skipjack went, oh no you don't, I can play this game just as well as you. He responded in kind. Both Genjis were trying their best to get the kills. Cypher was being shut down very, very hard, and frankly, I think that's a sign of respect from MISFITS. They know how good he can be, and then Zapri responded out of nowhere. Let's not forget the McCrees as well. Both of them were fantastic.
Yeah, that was a great game. And the best thing is that we have more. We have more Overwatch. But first, we need to take a little bit of a breather. We have Dorado coming up after the break, so please stay with us. Tell your friends to tune in. This is an exciting series. We'll see you very shortly.